Everybody, welcome back to Mac Kiteboarding Wing Wednesdays. I'm Tucker, and today I'm going to walk you through, give you a quick review on the new North Nova version 3, V3 for 2023. I've been riding this wing for a few weeks now and really getting a good feel for it. So we'll give you a review here and comparison to some similar wings out there in the market and how it stacks up. So hang around, listen up on this, and if you have any questions, comments, put those in the comment section below. You can pick up the phone, call us, or send an email, and we'll get you taken care of. All right, so what we have here is the North Nova version 3. We've got a complete redesign on the Nova here, and they really did an excellent job of bringing it into that kind of 2023 zone in terms of where wings are at and what people are asking for in terms of performance. And I was really excited to test this one, and definitely excited to compare it to the North Mode, which has been a favorite of mine for the season, and definitely a step up in terms of performance and wing. So seeing what they can do with a wing, you know, that's not so advanced level focused or speedy focused, more something that's more middle of the road, more entry level, intermediate, even advanced level for sure, but something with a bit more blended performance and ease of use. And that's what the Nova V3 aims to do. And I'm here to tell you, it's done a great job at that, and we'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's look at some of the cool new features on this wing. All right, so going to the front here, we've got our surf handle with a nice pad underneath. Comes with a leash included. It's your wrist leash, just kind of your standard wrist leash here. We've got our long, hard handles here, really comfortable. You can put your hands anywhere you want on those. Lots of real estate to play around, and a really nice kind of pistol grip here for surfing off of that front handle. Very convenient, very comfortable going into tacks, doing luffing the wing from there, wave riding, so on and so forth. You can see I have a harness line with it here, just a standard rope style harness line, and that's kind of where it worked out well for me. You can also use a windsurf style loop on these. You just need to take off the screws and the handles to pull them off and loop it around, and that works great as well. Underneath those handles, you can see we have a nice big boom here, especially up here at the top at that XLT joint, they call it. It's a really big, stiff connection to transfer that power from the handles into the boom, into the leading edge and the canopy. That works really well. Really nice, stiff, solid connection without needing to go to, you know, some expensive materials to do the same thing. So that's awesome to have that. Go to our inflation system here. You can tell we have 2 Boston style valves. So you can inflate independently, or you can pump up from the leading edge using the 1 pump system here. If you want to inflate them independently, you just pinch that off first. But then to dump the valves, you just unscrew both of those and it deflates really, really quickly. It's a nice big hole there to dump it out of. All right, since we're right here, I guess we'll talk about the window here. We've got a new window shape there with the 2 kind of slices there. That allows you to roll and fold the window more easily. It also keeps more canopy tension through here and reduces bagging out in the canopy, but also in the window, since that can be an issue with windowed wings. That's one way to get away with that. It makes it easier to fold, makes it last longer, helps it hold its shape better and have a tighter canopy. So that's something a lot of the brands are doing nowadays, and it works great. I'm a big fan. You can see everything you need to and don't need to compromise the integrity of the wing to do that, so that's great. You can see the canopy here is quite tight. It's nice, double ripstop type canopy, and very, you know, tight, and the panel layout keeps it that way. Nice deep baffle here behind the strut, and really shapes that profile of the wing, gives you all that lift and power and drive that you want from a wing. So that's really crucial part of the design here. Going into the materials and everything, it's just what you'd expect from North, just high quality stuff. This isn't getting the fancy end weave treatment with the frame like the Mode does, but it's coming in at a notably lower price point. And for a Dacron sail, this is a very stiff, responsive sail. I flew it really overpowered a few times and really didn't have any issues with deforming or any stiffness issues. And I was pumping, even being a heavier rider. So pretty amped on that. All right, so that's kind of just some of the basics of the wing here. Oh, I forgot to tell you that it does have quite a bit more dihedral in the shape of the wing. So the wingtips kind of bend out a little bit more. So that gives it just a little bit more ease of use. Rolling into tacks and jibes, the wing wants to roll and change directions a little bit more easily. If there's a downside to that, if you're just leashed out on the wing, you're not hanging on to it in any way, it does have a tendency to want to flip on its back. But really, that's a common thing with wings. It's not really a problem. But it's something that can be a pet peeve of some people, so I'll mention it. Stay. It wants to fly away at me. It is a pretty lightweight wing for a Dacron wing. It feels light in your hands. On the scale, maybe it's a little lighter than average out there, but when you're flying it, it feels very light, very responsive, easy to flip around and move wherever you want it to. And a lot of that just comes from the shape of the wing. It's very compact. That dihedral really helps it, move where you want it to. And the deep pocket in that baffle back here really creates a lot of lift. So it carries all its own weight. It always wants to lift, which is great. And combine that with the stiffness of the wing and how compact and how comfortable the handles are. It's a very easy to use wing. Definitely would hand this wing to a brand new rider, never touched a wing before, and feel really confident and happy about that. They're gonna notice they have a lot of grunt and a lot of easy, pull and go kind of power, we call it. That just makes it easy to ride. The sail angle, doesn't need to be perfect. You can kind of oversheet or undersheet a little bit and you're still gonna fly great. So it's not as picky, as some other wings with that, which is awesome. It's just gonna make the wing so much easier to ride, especially if you aren't really familiar with winging and aren't really comfortable with perfecting that sail angle and finding that sweet spot. You can just kind of pull in and go rip and not have to think about it much. And a lot of advanced riders are really gonna like that too. It definitely allows you to focus on your riding more so than what you're doing with your sail and where the wind is. And definitely in some shifty, sketchy winds, it just makes it so much easier to ride. As I mentioned, great wing for beginner, progressing riders. But then on the advanced side, I would say a lot of riders are gonna love this wing in the surf. It's got that low end grunt and power. It allows you to size down in the wing slightly. Definitely rides a good range. So, a little underpowered to, even a bit overpowered on this wing. It still pulls forward enough that it's comfortable riding overpowered. Maybe not so much as the Mode, but for a wing like this, it's got a great range. Lets you cover a lot of wind and up and down kind of wind as well. You should feel more comfortable for a wider range of conditions, which is awesome. Another reason I think advanced level riders are really going to dig the Nova V3 is the lift you get, the power and lift, but also the speed. So a lot of wings out there, you get some good grunt and lift, which is awesome for jumping big and kind of floating down more softly. But those kind of wings tend to be really physical to ride overpowered. And they also don't like to pull forward and amplify the speed quite as much. So it's a bit more blended with that lift and speed creation. Pulls forward, but also creates good grunt, which is a nice combination if you're looking to just boost huge, go out there and ride really fast and have fun and do those, some of those freestyle tricks and stuff like that. So definitely a really capable wing. If you're a new rider looking to progress quickly, this is an awesome choice. And it's something you're not going to grow out of, unless your taste just changed for what kind of wing you're looking for. But this one does it all pretty darn well. So I looked at the Nova V3 as a wing that's going to be really popular this season. North is definitely growing their following quickly, going from a couple of years ago just kind of being new into the foiling and winging scene to now, where they're kind of leading the charge, definitely dominating in terms of performance in a lot of categories. And you know, really just across the board having a lot of quality products. So big thumbs up to the team at North, all the hard work they've been doing and pushing the limits in terms of design and performance and what you can get in your wing setups. And the Nova V3 is no exception to that. So backpack, it comes with a backpack. It's a nice quality backpack, you know, fits the shape of the wings, kind of long, so you can pack it in there with the handles. It's got this nice foil assist bump guard, so if you're carrying your foil across your shoulder, it's not going to hurt you. Nice complete package with your leash. You don't need a pump adapter with these Boston style valves, since they just connect directly to the end of a hose. So if you have a standard kite pump hose, that's going to plug right into this, no adapter needed. So it kind of has everything you need, minus a pump, of course, and a harness line if you want to ride a harness line. But yeah, great kit, good setup. As it compares to other wings out there, I already mentioned the mode. The Nova V3 is going to be more accessible, easy to ride, more grunty. So you can definitely size down on the Nova V3 as compared to the mode. The mode by comparison is going to give you more speed, more comfort riding overpowered to extremely overpowered, in better upwind ability, but definitely not quite as accessible to new riders, especially in lighter winds, as the Nova V3. Other wings that I would compare to this, a hot one has been the duotone unit. They also have these kind of hard style handles. They also have a very grunty, stiff frame. I would put this head to head with the unit. It's a little faster, a little bit more forward pulling than the unit. The unit does have a touch more grunt and lift, but that also means it's going to get overpowered a little bit more quickly. But if you're into, you know, the unit, if you like the unit, this is a wing you're going to really enjoy as well. And I would also throw out the F1 Strike. They're also a really high quality wing, great in the surf, good lift, good easy pull and go grunt. So yeah, I'd put this head to head with a Strike as well. Personally, I'm more comfortable with the hard style handles, especially being a heavier rider, especially being a rider that's riding overpowered a lot. These are just a bit more ergonomic for me. I don't need to grip them as hard to hold my hand position, and I can move my hand to a variety of different positions to whatever suits how I want to ride, which is nice. On the flip side, the Strike is a little lighter weight. Luff's a little nicer in the surf in really light winds. You know, if you're in decent wind, they both luff phenomenal. So really nothing bad to say either way on those. Both awesome choices, both really popular wings for 2022, and expect them to be again in 2023. So this has been the North Nova V3. We're going to have them in stock around the time this video launches, so reach out to us if you have any questions about sizing, availability. If you'd like to scoop one up, we'd be happy to help you out, and see you happy out there on the water having a good time on this new wing. This has been Tucker with MattKiteboarding.com, and we'll see you next time.